Hey there, everybody. It's a Super Sunday night breakdown. We're going to go over football. We're going to go over college basketball. I have the Redskins, former Redskins, whatever. The Washington Football Club versus Philly game going on right now. It's almost at halftime. Philly has stormed back to a 14-10 lead. Oh, you can see this coming. You know what I did? I bet the over in that game. I knew something nuts was going to happen. I just knew it. And we'll see what goes on. Jalen Hurts is playing well. That's scary for all the people rooting for the name redacted. So anyway, let's talk about football real quick. So it doesn't look good up here, but it's actually a lot better than it looks because of the games that we knew are not related games. So let's talk about it. Tampa Bay, first of all, we talked about that in the video. They cover, nice. They cover. They put up points. This is actually pretty good here. We have them scoring a little less. They ended up scoring, but they did it for us. They covered. Good for them. So way to go, Brady. They may be coming to Washington next week if Washington can come back, but we'll see. Seattle does exactly what I thought they were going to do. A rare call by me that's correct. Said don't take them minus the points. Take them just on the money line, and they do pull it out. Almost very close to our projected score. So that's a pretty good pick as well, even though they don't cover. But we knew not. I thought we knew not to take them there, even though the algorithm barely said yes. Right? That's what happened there. Let's see what happened. They ended up. We said that they were going to win by 7. Whoops, what happened? We said they were going to win by 7. They only won by 3, and the points were 5.5. So it was very, very close. But anyway, whatever. This game's going on right now. We won't worry about it. Detroit is funny and covers. Funny game. They were actually leading this game, went back and forth. We had a high-scoring game. It was a high-scoring game, but Detroit lost. So they cover the 7, but they don't cover the 240. Raiders, high-scoring game. I said take the over here. Look at this. 35-31. We thought it's 32-31. I mean, unbelievable. So that hits the over. I had that. It was good. Bengals, disappointed. But this is a difference between a game that a team that's playing to get into the playoffs and a team that's done. So the algorithm's not differentiating that, and I think that that's pretty obvious. Maybe in a hard-fought game, somehow, if those questionable players were out of there, this would have been like this. But no, it's just a clean miss by the algorithm. Makes sense. Miami, clean miss here. This would have hurt if you took Miami. I didn't take them, but man, they put up the same points, but man, did their defense not show up in Buffalo. Huge over, weird game. I don't know what happened there. Jets had it, blew it. What happened? Jets were like 14-7. Next thing they're down 28-14. I don't know what happened. Carolina and the Saints. Yeah, nobody wants a piece of Carolina when the Saints are playing for something. And the Saints, just like the Ravens, make no mistake when they're playing for something. The Giants and the Cowboys. This game, I should have listened to the algorithm. Why didn't I do this? I didn't realize that the Giants could win out if Washington loses. I wasn't paying attention. Wow, how about that? Giants win out according to the algorithm. I bet Dallas, so screw me. And it did not hit the over either. Weird game. A lot of field goals that Dallas took when you thought they'd be going for it. Chiefs, this game I guess didn't matter for the Chiefs or something. This was weird. Chargers win. It's one of those weird games. I'm not worried about that. Rams and Cardinals. Kyler Murray goes down. Look at this. Look at our point projections. I mean, if you took Kyler Murray out of there, watch this. Watch this. Oh, my God, because he gets hurt, right? So where's Kyler Murray? KKK. How do you spell Kyler? There he is. Oops, undo that and just hold down Control and press that to get rid of him. What happens when we refresh picks? All of a sudden, Arizona would have lost 18-14 instead of losing 18-7, and they should have had a touchdown. I mean, how about that? The algorithm really does stuff like that. That's amazing. Wow. How about that? So bummer for Kyler Murray, bummer for Arizona. That was sad, but I see what happened there. What else we got? We did that. The Raiders, we did that. Steelers and Browns ended up being some kind of weird. Are you kidding me? We predicted 23-24 and it came out 22-24. Are you crazy? That's just nuts. That's insane right there. Wow. Bears, Packers. Packers make no mistake again. But this is a team to watch, the Packers. The Aaron Rodgers is not messing around this year. Houston, Tennessee. We had a high-scoring game with Tennessee winning. It's a high-scoring game with Tennessee winning a little higher than we thought. And Jacksonville, Indianapolis. Jacksonville doesn't put as much as we thought. Indianapolis goes a little more. So I don't know why this 6-9 looks bad, but actually I feel like it looks real. I feel like the point projections and everything. It's a phenomenal day if you bet over unders according to this. I don't know what everybody did. I lost overall, but I'll make some back if if this game's an over, which is it's 14-10 right now with a minute 20 left in the first. Anyway, what are we? That's 5 minutes of football. I don't know. That was a pretty interesting day. I really like to see point projections that are pretty tracking like this, with the exception of some games, but I like a lot of what that did. So now let's talk about college basketball. So the college basketball game Northwestern Michigan just ended while I was doing this video. Whoops, not 25, 85. Now, let's go check out, before we check out Monday, let's check out Sunday before we check out Monday. So, interesting stuff. I got a couple games in late. I was, being a normal human being and parenting and stuff during the day. But then I went out and got some bets late, and I hit some but missed one. But this is looking pretty darn good. And what did I say about away games at home? Look at the losing here. All this losing down here is very interesting because it's been very predictive that this team covers spreads down here, which is fine if that's the way it's going to do it. I'll talk about putting a home bump percentage when a team is home to bump them up, but even like it looks like even Delaware lost, Vermont won, but didn't cover the spread. So anyway, all right, let's talk about this for a sec. So we go 15-5. Don't pay attention to the spread so much. I'm going to do something else with this in a second. So I should really get rid of this. It's not right. But it'll show something in a second. So good. Duquesne, George Washington. So games played 3. Let's do something fun and remove all the teams that have 1 or 3 games. Let's get them out of here because that's too few. In that case, we go 14-3. And look at all these winnings. This is what I did in the video yesterday. If you saw, I took out the games that had less than 4. I think I did everything 3 and below. And there you hit 13 games in a row. And some of them are at decent lines, right? And then you have some losses here, but I said, watch out for the away teams. I said in my email, take Evansville and Minnesota if you subscribe. And both of those teams won. Southern Methodist did not win. They had a chance, but they did not win. But these two did. And this would have sucked because you would have had Delaware and they would have lost. But a lot of winning here. Now, something else I want to do. Let's open up everything again. Which is, I've been working on point projections, not really, but I'm going to be working on them more. And they're doing something with this thing called a spread cover right here. And when the spread cover is positive, then we're expecting this team to cover the spread. In order to see this in its entirety, because of the way the point projections and the margin don't necessarily align, we have to sort this whole thing by spread cover descending, okay? And what we're going to get is this spread cover number right here is going to be descending down. And we're looking and saying, well, what happened with these? Like, are our point projections doing anything good? We should see wins over here if they are. We can see that there are a bunch of losses right here. A lot of losses here, but also the final margin of victory. What was the actual spread? These are, looks like some bad teams up here that we are clearly projecting points wrong. These margins are low. So in order to filter this appropriately, normally I would say, well, put the margin above 0. But I just wanted to look at this spread cover to see if it's actually doing anything and if our point projections are doing anything good. And I can see there are clear holes in our point projections, especially when it comes to underdogs and something going on here. So our point projections are not aligning with the margin, which when seeing this and seeing how choppy it is, it just makes me reiterate more. I need to do work on the point projections, and that requires some coding work. And I will do it, but not in the next 48 hours. I got other stuff I'm in the middle of. So I'll work on that eventually, but it's not where it needs to be right now. So let's open this back up again. Where we filter by margin greater than 0, which is still the best way to look at this. And looking at it descending by margin, because as you saw, there are a ton of wins in a row. There's a couple losses here, but those teams hadn't played enough games, so we knew to stay away from that one. and this one, right? Wake and Duquesne. We need to stay away from both of those because of the 3 over here. And technically, you just stayed this one away from this one too, even though Navy did win. So you shouldn't count that one either. Now, like I said, away teams with low margin, if we add a home bump of like 4%, a lot of this works out. Houston Methodist would have still been favored at a 4% or 8% doubled up bump, as I call it, meaning if you up the home team by 4% from where it is and lower the away team by the same amount, because you kind of have to make it equal, then you get up with an 8% change, and that would have brought everybody below 8. All these teams would have brought all these teams that were away down. So Northern Iowa and Ohio State would have been removed from the list, and Evansville and Minnesota actually won the game, so that would have been correct. Delaware would have been moved up. Vermont would have been moved up. Michigan would have been moved up. Houston would have been moved down, but not enough to remove them off the list, and they ended up winning. So you can't make a bump too big, because then you start to change all the games. But there is clearly a margin down here that's very interesting, and we should just take that into account when looking at stuff. Other than that, I'd say pretty darn good day. Other than Southern Methodist losing right around there, a lot of this is really good. Delaware losing, but super low margin, right? Everything wins up here. Were there any good lines? I guess this now I said not to play Navy. But, Oral Roberts and Omaha was your best line of the day up here, with a big spread cover, and they ended up winning by, it looks like 9. Yep, and they had to cover 3.5. So that Oral Roberts again. I think it's 2 days in a row they've done that. So all right, let's talk about 11 minutes in. Let's talk about tomorrow's college basketball, which is going to change, but it's interesting to take a look at what's here, and then I'm going to let everybody go. And then I can do a bunch of nothing but payroll work. You're going to see so many payroll videos before I do another video on any of this. There's going to be like 10 payroll videos at least. All right, now, so before I part to do payroll work for the next God knows how long, let's talk about these games. So, look at this. I see some low away percentages down here. You know what that means? It means bet these guys. That's what that means. Yep. I mean, all these. There's your 4-team round robin right there. These guys plus the points, or minus points, or in that case. But definitely these guys to win. I have to look at what those odds are. What else do we have? Anything else good up here? Not really. It's actually tracking very close to the file. So not a lot here, other than Prairie View's only minus 250, but they're on the road and they have a very low power percentage. So, and they only have 5 games. Watch out for that. Oh yeah. What do we do? How do we do a pick of the day real quick? We get rid of anything under. We got minimum 5 games. Everybody's got. Okay, that's good. 5 and 5. Does like Prairie View on the road, but that's only because Alcorn State is apparently really bad, but that's a bad power percentage. I'll say it again. Coppin State, no, it's a terrible line. It's not a good line. No, nothing with a really good spread cover here, except for, all right, so you start to get into these 4. So the only thing I can say to do is that these margins are so low. Some of these teams are okay, but especially Longwood and Wyoming. Those teams are both super weak. So South Carolina Upstate and Fresno State, which lines are, South Carolina State and Fresno State are minus 144 and minus 158. That seems like a parlay, actually, the way that the algorithm's been going. Both those teams are probably going to win because they're playing weaker teams that are coming in on the road. So that's my dual pick of the day. I'll give you a parlay because they're not minus 110, you know. Other than that, good luck everybody. It's been a fun football season. This was a pretty darn fun Sunday, I have to say, and it is not over. It scores 17-14 Reds, formerly the name redacted's now. I love that I bet the over because I just get to watch this fireworks. As this thing goes into the second half, bet the over no matter what it is. I don't care if the over is 80. They're going to hit it. I just feel nothing but craziness happening. Jalen Hurts is moving. He's throwing. Alex Smith is still running. I mean, I feel like this game, you know, with questionable players back in and a higher point when you add the questionables back in, because McLaurin ended up playing in this game actually, so you should bring them back in. When you refresh this, you see that it's a 36-18 game. Well, watch with Jalen Hurts now, who's normally ranked. If you look at what he normally was on Philly, right there, he hadn't been playing very much because he was at a 0.6 without playing nearly as much as Wentz, I think. So he seems to be really letting it loose. There's just going to be offense. You can feel it in the second half. So if you get this before the second half, I would say bet whatever the over is. I think you're going to have a fun time chasing it. So anyway, all right, good luck everybody. May all of everyone's picks be doing exactly what they should be doing. And it's nice to have some fun tracking point projections. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, LA, and Denver. That's freaking hilarious. This game was not tracking to hit the over at halftime, and they blew it up in the fourth quarter. That is so funny. Wow. All right, guys, good luck.